Hi, my name's John. Welcome to another Sunday night nightcap. Tonight's nightcap is nearly all lathe work. I modify one of my video cameras to take a wide angle lens. I've done a similar thing before, but I take a bit more time setting the lathe up to cut the fine screw thread, so I do show quite a lot of that. In actual fact, the video you're watching now has been shot on the camera that I modified to take the wide angle lens. In last week's video I said that I couldn't accept the money that had been donated into the fund that Herb Blade set up to help me go to the Bargee Bash in America. There was a lot of people commented on this. Well over 100 people actually commented, and I got some personal emails as well, and there's only one person disagreed with what I wanted to do. So what I've decided to do, I've received the money from Herb. The money come through by PayPal. It's the easiest way to transfer money. And the money is, I got $758. The GoFundMe, people take a little bit, and that's what I've actually got in hard cash, $758. I am going to donate all of this to breast cancer, which is obviously something I'm sort of interested in now with my wife being a breast cancer sufferer. If anybody that's donated any money to this doesn't want us to do that with their money, tell us and I'll do something else. But I'm going to do it sort of midweek. I haven't decided which one. There's lots and lots of breast cancer charities. I'll probably have a word with the people at the hospital, the Tread Deb, and see what the best thing is to do with it. I did say I was going to launch a t-shirt campaign, which I'm going to do. I've had a look at quite a few companies that do this sort of thing online. Teespring appears to be one of the better ones. I think that's the one that Adam Booth uses. I'm not that good with computers as far as graphic goes. I'm not bad with video, but designing things I'm not that good. If anybody fancies having a go at designing a t-shirt, by all means feel free. I'm not going to rush into this. I've got loads of time to do it, but I do want to get it up and running. Quite a few people have asked us for my email so they can get in touch with us. I've never tried to hide my email. It has been on quite a few nightcaps. Anyway, here it is. I'll stick it up there somewhere so you can. That's my email. If you want to email me, feel free. I've been away all weekend with Richard with the steam wagon. I've basically just got back, had a quick wash, and I'm doing this introduction now. That's why the video is running a little bit late. We went to a little market town called Appleby. They have a fair over there with a steam engine, the wagon, and somebody else had a steam roller there. That was a narrow gauge railway set up. I'll put quite a bit of that in, probably next week's nightcap or a video through the week. After Appleby, we were called back to a place called Halt Whistle. There's a steam rally there, like a country show, and there was half a dozen engines there. Like I say, we stopped on a Sunday night, had a gathering of all of the engines with had the lights on and that, and had a few beers. It was a really good night. And then the Sunday came, there was a procession through the town. I get quite a bit of video of that. I'll probably put it in either next week's nightcap or possibly a video through the week. I got some interesting shots. It was a good weekend. I really enjoyed it. This is the camera I use for most of my video work. In fact, all the video work in the garage is shot on this camera. It's a Panasonic V510. It must have hundreds of hours of use now, and it's got to the point where it's unreliable. There's a lot of wear on the hinge there. Quite often the camera won't turn off. You can see all the wear on the buttons. It owes me absolutely nothing. One thing I did do when I bought it, I bought a cheap wide angle lens for it, and I made an adapter, aluminium adapter, which is glued onto there. It means you can put a filter in there, and you can also put the wide angle lens on. One of the problems I've got with the wide angle lens on this camera, if I zoom fully out, like wide angle, I get a black ring around the outside of the picture. You might have seen it on one or two of my videos. Now what I managed to do, I managed to buy a brand new camera the same as this. It's a brand new ex-demo camera because I haven't made them for quite a few years. I had a search on eBay, and as soon as it come up I just bought it. It's actually the camera I'm shooting this little bit of film with now. I'm going to swap the cameras over and shoot some film with the new camera. Right, this is the brand new camera I bought. You can see it's basically unmarked. There's no wear on it at all. brand new camera. So what I've done, I've bought a wide angle lens as well, but a bigger one. This is a 46mm instead of a 44mm. I need to make an adapter to put that onto there. Like I say, I've already made one of these for the other camera, but I'm going to do this one as well, and I'll do a little bit of video. I've had that fastened on there with tape, and I don't get the black circle when the lens is used on wide angle. I've got a suitable piece of aluminium here. I'm sure I'll be able to find the adapter inside of that. This lens also, the same as the other one, it screws apart, and you've got that bit there which is a macro lens, which is really for real close-up work. That's what I used to get a lot of the close-up work on the lathe. But I find that without the wide angle lens on, I just can't get the camera far enough away in my garage to get the sort of shots I want. These lenses aren't expensive, probably 30 or 40 pound. You can pay up to 200 or 300 pound for a wide angle lens, but you can't buy a wide angle lens for this camera because there's no threads on the end of it. That's why we need to make the threaded adapter. First thing I need to do is identify the thread on there. The diameter's easy, it's a thread pitch I need to know. Now I have got a lens cap that screws on, so basically that's the thread I need to cut in the aluminium, but possibly a little bit tighter than that. I think it was 0.75 metric thread on the other lens. There's a 0.75 thread gauge there. Right, I'll put the close-up lens on and try and get a shot of that fitting into there. Right, focus, you bastard, you. Just trying to focus on my thumb, not the lens. Anyway, that is definitely the thread. Okay, so we'll settle for 0.75 pitch, the diameter of the thread. Luckily on here they've left a little shoulder so I can get the root of the thread. That's the size of the hole I need to bore, and I get that at 44.8, and the thread is actually 45.8. It's 44.8, 45.8, so I've got half a minute thread aside, which is basically what it looks like. So I need to bore a hole in there, 44.8, and cut that 0.75 pitch thread. Measure it again. Yep, 44.8. I've got the bit of aluminium mounted obviously in the 3-jaw chuck. First thing to do is place the end off square. Centre drill it and then bore the hole out to the right diameter. I'm just going to put a nice big drill in there just to get it, just to get a hole in, then we can get a boring tool in. size we're looking for is 44.8. Still got quite a bit to go. We're at 43.6, so it's turning out to get some better measuring gear on. We'll use a snap gauge now to get a more accurate measurement. I've got a metric clamp here, which I don't use very often, but I'm going to use metric today, and that gives me a reading of 44.15, and I want 44.8. Check it with the clamp, 44.12. Nice finishing there anyway. .45 with a make, and we're at 44.46 with a vernier. Keeping the spring cut just to finish it. .6 with vernier. I'm getting 44.6 with a make. So I'll put a tooth again the same setting. .65. .67. This should be the last cut. .77 with a vernier. And the metric clamps is .7. 44.8. Oh, what John man. 44.8 definitely. Once again the same setting, just to clean it up and get a finish on it. 44.78. .8. That shows that you can get fairly accurate just using a vernier. The lens hasn't fell inside, which is always a good start. Next thing is to put a counter bone here for the screw cutting tool to run into. Either find or make a screw cutting tool and set the gearbox up and cut the thread. I've got a tool set up just to put a recess in for the screw cutting tool to end up in. Start the lathe up and bring the tool out and it just touches. Right, then I want to put a 1mm cut on, 1mm per side. That's just a groove for the screw cutting tool to drop off into once we cut the threads. I need to set the gearbox up to cut the 0.75 thread. They're the change views I need, a 25 or 180. They're the ones that are in most of the time. They cut most of the metric threads. So we'll find the 0.75, which is that one. That goes into there. And it tells me that the right hand lever goes to the right. And across here, these two levers go opposite each other like that. So that should cut a 0.75 thread. 2580, that's what's in there. Right hand lever to the right, those two levers opposite to each other. Got the lathe running at 45 RPM, that's as slow as it'll go, and that's a dog clutch there that engages the lathe feed screw. I'm going to engage the half clutch now and just make sure that things are turned the right way. That knot is going backwards, so I need to reverse the direction with the lead screw. That's quite simply done on this machine. Right, we'll try it again. Right, that's engaged. As you can see, the carriage is actually going forward, which is always a good sign.